Hello, Joe here from Infiniti of Tacoma. I'm going to tell you about this beautiful 2019 Mazda Miata Grand Touring that we have. This one only has 2,222 miles, one owner clean Carfax. If you're in the market for a fun convertible, it doesn't get much funner than a Mazda Miata. In fact, this is one of my all-time favorite cars, and you might be saying, hey, you work for Infiniti, don't worry, I love Infiniti too. I've worked for Infiniti close to 17 years and I own 2 Infinitis right now. But I did own a Mazda Miata at one point too. And I've been a career car guy. I've been in the car business all my adult life and also when I was a teenager, 25 plus years. And I've driven all the Miatas, the original generation, all the generations of the Miatas, and I'm a very big fan of them. In fact, I was actually just doing a video the other day in a Dodge Viper, and I was going on about how frustrating, and as I was driving the Viper in the video, I was doing a road test, I was saying how frustrating it is for me to drive this Viper because I really can't open it up on public roads. It's really not that fun to drive on public roads. You almost want to drive it on the racetrack, but with a Miata that is completely different. You know, obviously it's not the fastest car in the world, but there's something to be said about taking a car like this that's not the fastest car in the world, but you can push it a lot harder on public roads, and it's fun to push a car hard. When you're not pushing a car hard, even if it's a fast car, it's not as much fun. So there's a saying, it's more fun to drive slow cars fast than fast cars slow. And you know, it's all relative. This Miata is not slow at all. 0 to 60 in a little over 6 seconds. Top speed, well, I think it's a little over 130 miles per hour. Very, very fun car indeed. But obviously, it's not as fast as like a 500 horsepower Corvette or, you know, Ford Mustang GT. But the thing with those cars is that they can bite you. They can turn around and bite you if you're not careful. It's easy to lose control of those cars. It's easy to get tickets. They're a lot easier to crash. They're not as forgiving. Or it's a complete opposite with a vehicle like the Mazda Miata. You can push this car hard and it will tell you when it's about to, you know, break traction, when the rear end is gonna come loose, so you have time to recover. Things happen so fast in 500-600 horsepower high performance cars that you don't have enough time to react and save things before the car loses control. So it's forgiving and it's a wonderful open air driving experience. Maybe at one time you owned motorcycles and for whatever reasons you're scared or you're past having motorcycles. Well, obviously you can't reproduce the same experience of riding a motorcycle, but to me, someone who's ridden motorcycles for 15 years and loved it, but I can't ride them anymore, the closest exhilaration that I've had to an open air driving experience on a motorcycle is in a Miata. It's just so much fun. So you can daily drive them. Obviously it's not the easiest car as your only vehicle, but it is possible if you don't need a lot of cargo space. But this also makes a great secondary vehicle, especially this low mile example. Beautiful leather interior, nice stitching. I love how they have the exterior color accents on the top of the door handles, and you have synthetic leather and stitching on the doors and on the dashboard. Very premium feel. The Grand Touring package has lots of creature comforts, both sound system, heated seats, auto climate control, navigation, rear parking camera, and this is about one of the best gearboxes that you'll ever use. It's an absolute joy to use. Easy throws, very precise. You'll find yourself maybe changing gears even if you don't have to, just because it's so nice and so it feels so good to use. So I love that gearbox. And then we have steering and handling. I mean, as far as communicating what's going on the road to the driver, it doesn't get much better than a Mazda Miata. It absolutely has wonderful steering. And this is a type of vehicle that will make you a better driver. So maybe you do want to graduate up to faster, more high performance vehicles. Well, a good starting point if you're new to driving or new to performance driving is starting off with something like this. Just like, you know, Formula One race car drivers, they don't start off in Formula One cars, they start off in go-karts. You know, some of the best Formula One race car drivers started off their careers racing go-karts. And here you have a a giant street legal go-kart. That's, you know, pretty much what it is. Original carpeted mats. Looks like we have a Mazda Car cover, very nice. We have the books, and it looks like we have maybe a first aid kit or a tire inflator kit. Really beautiful color combination, and obviously, well, 2,000 miles, it's still in pretty much near new condition. All we did to it was really just change the oil, so it's got some fresh oil in it. Other than that, you know, brakes and tires only have 2,000 miles on them. Really is a beautiful looking Miata. I love this newest generation of the Miata. You know, the original Miata, when it came out, it was a really small car, only had 118 horsepower, but you know, cars have a tendency to grow in size and weight over the years, and that's exactly what the Miata did. It grew and grew and grew, and it, you know, became more comfortable, you know, especially for someone like me who's 6'2", but also it got heavier, so it kind of lost its original charm. But with this generation of the Miata, you know, Mazda went back to their roots, and they managed to make it lighter and better performing, and I think really this is the best Miata yet. Up until this point, you know, I think one of the best, you know, handling Miatas was the NB generation of the Miata, which I owned. I owned a 2004 example. That was kind of like the perfect, you know, lightness. It was improved over the NA, the first generation of the Miata. To me, that was like the perfect Miata, but when this latest generation came out, I think this one takes the cake. I think Mazda nailed it with this one. It's absolutely perfect. We can ship this nationwide. Contact us for more details. We ship cars all over the country. We do it every month. And if you're a little bit local, we have complimentary shipping to pretty much anywhere in Oregon and Washington, and we can get the vehicle to you within about 24 to 48 hours. Also, I'd like to mention, we have a Fiata in stock as well at the time of making this video. So maybe if you're comparing the Mazda Miata to the Fiat 124, also known as the Fiata, we have both in stock at this time, so you can compare them. They're very similar. They're built next to each other in Hiroshima, Japan, but the Fiat's tuned a little bit differently. It's a little bit longer. The suspension's tuned differently, and then the Fiat has a engine that's from Fiat in Italy, where this has a Mazda engine, and the transmission's also different in the Fiat because it uses the transmission from the older generation of the Miata, because the new transmission isn't quite up to handling the amount of torque that the Fiat's turbocharged four-cylinder makes. It actually makes more torque than the Mazda's engine, and they're worried about it you know, being too hard in the gearbox. So those are some slight differences. Maybe if I have some time, I'd love to do a more detailed comparison between the Miata and the 124, but we'll see if we have time to do that. But like I said, you can come in and do it yourself if you come in right around the time we're making this video, where we have both in stock. Thanks for watching this video. Hope to see you soon, and have a wonderful day.